You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted Best of Las Vegas. Give them a call, 702-727-9900.
Thank you for joining us here on News 25 and Ace Country Radio and streaming at KPVM.TV. And now on Roku devices on this Wednesday, October 22nd, 2025. Good evening. I'm Chris Palermo. Here's what's happening. There's been an accident in Pahrump caused by a pedestrian not using a crosswalk. 2 cars were involved. Haley Grabby reports.
Jason Ernest of Mount West Lawyers. Don't be bullied by insurance companies. Call me, 775-727-9500.
On October 22nd, around 10:20 a.m., a crash occurred on Highway 372 near Red Butte Street. Authorities say a juvenile was crossing the highway when several cars stopped to let him cross. While traffic was stopped, a white truck rear-ended a Corvette that had come to a stop for the pedestrian. The driver and passenger of the Corvette were transported to Desert View Hospital with minor injuries. Traffic eastbound on 372 was closed during the investigation.
Sticking down more news locally, Fabian Ferrante appeared in Judge Vito's courtroom in the hope of being released on his own recognizance or a reduced bail.
Fabian Ferrante appeared today in Justice Court before Judge Vito for a bail reduction hearing and possible release on his own recognizance. During the hearing, District Attorney Keith Brower noted that Ferrante allegedly provided false information to investigators, information that did not come to light until July 22nd.
Mr. Ferrante has been charged just with the accessory after the fact, Judge. He does appear to the state to at least have been providing false information, deceptive information to the officers, which they didn't learn about until the 22nd of July.
Ferrante's attorney, Ava Bravo, argued that her client willingly presented himself to law enforcement for an interview and that officers did not have to seek him out. Following that interview, Ferrante was released.
My client presented himself to the police for interview. They did not go looking for him. He went to the police station, presented himself for an interview, was interviewed and released. Other individuals that were present during the time that this occurred were also interviewed, and my client was still released.
Attorney Bravo went on to explain that her client is young, maintains 2 jobs, has strong ties to the community, and shares a supportive relationship with his mother and family.
My client is young. He is 19 years old. He has 2 jobs. He works. He has ties to this community. He has a supportive relationship with his mother, his family. He has a girlfriend.
Bravo also claimed there is no evidence linking Ferrante to the weapon used in the crime and pointed out that a female witness who later changed her story only did so after she was arrested, alleging that Ferrante hid or destroyed cell phones.
There is nothing that connects my client to the weapon. There's no DNA evidence. And when you look at what the change in evidence was from when they interviewed him right after the crime in July to when they did further interviews and found that there was a change in the evidence, it was 4 or 5 days after he was interviewed. At that point in time, the media had already covered this matter. It was in the public eye, and then there's an individual that changes her story and says that he destroyed phones or hid the phones. That same individual made those comments after she was arrested. Prior to being arrested, she didn't make that comment.
Bravo argued that the $250,000 bail was excessive, effectively creating a no bail situation, and requested that her client be released on his own recognizance with an ankle monitor, or that the bail be reduced to $25,000.
$250,000 is excessive. Results in a no bail hold, and I would ask the court to release him OR. We could put an ankle monitor on him. We could do a tracking system. We could make him report. In the alternative, I would ask that the court reduce it to something that's attainable. I don't even know if anything is attainable, but something that's more in the realm of allowing him the opportunity to bail out. I would ask that $25,000 or less be imposed, and that the court can utilize a monitor or pretrial services to protect the community and ensure his appearance.
Judge Vito denied the request for release on recognizance, stating he is not going to be released on his own recognizance, and ruled that the bail would instead be lowered to $150,000.
He's not going to be released to his own recognizance. $150,000.
A pretrial conference for Pahrump has been scheduled for December 10th, with a preliminary hearing set for January 21st at 9 a.m.
More news now. The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police are asking for the public's help for a missing and endangered person. They do have the location he was last seen at.
Las Vegas Metropolitan Police are asking for the public's help in locating a missing and endangered man. His name is Robert Devereux, a 70-year-old man who is 5 feet 11 inches tall and weighs around 200 pounds. He was last seen near the 3100 block of Tenaya in Las Vegas, Nevada. Robert was wearing a neon green construction-style hoodie, blue pajama pants, and black Puma shoes. He was last seen on October 22nd around 5:30 p.m. Police are urging all hospitals to check registries for Robert Devereux and to notify authorities immediately with any information regarding his whereabouts.
And Nye County Sheriff Joe McGill has an update on charges against Catherine and Christopher White, who are accused of burglaries and have been charged with more crimes since their original arrest on October 7th.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Joe McGill here to give you an update on an arrest that was made here in Pahrump. On October 7th, a search warrant was served at an address on Hickory in reference to stolen property. This case was a result of ongoing investigation involving multiple cases of burglaries around the valley. On the 7th, the search warrant was served and the residents were arrested for multiple charges. As a result of that, Catherine and Christopher White have been in custody since October 7th. As a result of further investigation following up on the information, other cases have been discovered that are linked to these two individuals, and they have been charged for additional charges since their initial arrest. Christopher is currently in custody on 19 counts, and Catherine is currently in custody on 16 counts, and both individuals' bail is a total of $27,000. Further follow-up investigation is still continuing, and we do believe that we may identify additional victims that they can be charged with. Thank you.
Catherine White was charged with burglary of a structure, grand larceny of a motor vehicle, conspiracy to possess a stolen vehicle, and conspiracy to commit grand auto theft. Christopher White faces similar charges including burglary of a structure, grand larceny of a motor vehicle, conspiracy to possess a stolen vehicle, and conspiracy to commit larceny of an auto vehicle.
Coming up, news on a new pipeline that could ease some gas prices for us here in Nevada. You're watching News 25.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. I'm Chris Palermo. A new pipeline that will transport motor fuel from the Midwest to the West has been proposed in hopes of easing the supply demands and gas production problems stemming from California. The project was announced this week and promises relief at the pumps when completed. A new fuel pipeline is being proposed from the companies Phillips 66 and Kinder Morgan. It will send motor fuel from the Midwest to the West. The project was announced this past Monday on October 20th. It will move fuel from a Texas refining hub and will boost supplies in Arizona and California. The new pipelines could ease strain on West Coast fuel supply from the planned closures of Phillips 66's Los Angeles refinery by the end of this year and Valero Energy's Benicia refinery next year. Those refineries produce nearly 20% of California's fuel and also meet the needs of neighboring states like Nevada. The new pipeline will go from Borger, Texas to Phoenix. Flows will be reversed on the Gold Pipeline, which currently delivers fuel from Texas to St. Louis. Reversing it will supply more fuel coming from Midwestern refineries. The new system is called the Western Gateway Pipeline. Gas body analyst Patrick DeHaan said on social media platform X, "This is potentially huge news for motorists in California, Las Vegas, Arizona, and great news for refiners in the Gulf." Well, a laser show that is a fundraiser is happening this weekend at the Pahrump Valley Museum.
The Pahrump Valley Museum would like to invite you to our fundraiser, the Northern Lights Laser Beam Show. It's October 24th and 25th at 6 and 8 p.m. both nights. You can pick up tickets at 401 East Basin Avenue in Pahrump itself. The tickets are $10 for adults, and kids under 16 only $5. This show is not recommended for children under 12 years old. Once again, the Pahrump Northern Lights Laser Show is coming up October 24th and 25th. Don't miss it.
Well, if you think the World Series is going to be lit, wait till you hear of Cosmic Baseball. Mikey Rohan has that. More in sports.
Time now for your News 25 look at sports and streaming at KPVM.TV. And now on Roku devices, the Las Vegas ballpark is about to get a lot brighter and possibly require sunglasses at night. Cosmic Baseball just announced its 2026 tour locations, and yes, Las Vegas made the cut. So if you ever thought baseball is cool, but what if it glowed? This is your moment. The Viral League is known for its glow-in-the-dark games where fans can watch teams like the Chili Peppers and Glow-Mojis face off under black lights. Expect neon uniforms, UV reactive baseballs, and entertainment that might leave you wondering if you accidentally walked into a futuristic disco. Ticket info coming soon. Meanwhile, the Las Vegas Raiders 2025 season is, let's say, it's in the rebuilding vibe stage, currently sitting at 2-5. But here's some good news. Star defensive end Max Crosby is not being traded, according to NFL Network's Tom Pelissero. Raiders are on their bye week and return Sunday, November 2nd, to face the Jacksonville Jaguars. Friday night lights are staying lit. Pahrump Valley Trojan football is on the move, heading to Boulder City this Friday. JV kicks off at 4 p.m. Varsity takes the field at 7 p.m. And that's your look at sports on News 25.
Thank you, Mikey. You won't want to miss the next segment. The Alien Conference is taking over the Nugget here in Pahrump. You're watching News 25.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500.
Welcome back to News 25. I'm Chris Palermo. Something otherworldly is landing in Pahrump this weekend. The Alien Conference takes over the Nugget Hotel and Casino Saturday. Among the headliners, sci-fi author Kathy Porter, and News 25 spoke with her about this star-studded lineup.
What inspired you to begin writing the Grey Guardian series, and why did you choose science fiction as your genre?
Oh, there's a multitude of reasons there. I initially was introduced to science fiction when I was in about third grade. I picked up the Martian Chronicles. And Ray Bradbury was, I adored him ever since. So I did read a lot of science fiction, Jules Verne's. I like the old people. I like Jules Verne's. I liked H.G. Wells. Jules Verne's, he was the original steampunk author. So I find all the old ones intriguing. Being that I love science fiction and read it, I got so frustrated with the fact that science fiction really portrayed women as fair maidens in distress that needed to be rescued, or they were almost they were too manly, like in Alien. I love Ripley, don't get me wrong, but I wanted women to experience real women, how we would react. I also had, I didn't know I was going to write. I honestly didn't until I had a dream one night, and it kind of intertwined with an experience that I had. And that experience and that dream kind of merged together. And I laid in bed one Saturday morning, kind of letting it mingle in my mind. And finally, I spoke to my husband about it over coffee. And I said, if that was a book, I would love to read it. And with his encouragement, his words were, if you want to read it, you have to write it. And so I did. That's how it began.
For new readers unfamiliar with your work, which book would you recommend they start with and why?
Well, each book is standalone, but just because it is a space opera, all the characters are carried through each book, just to get to know their characters and know how things are developing in their lives. It would be best to start with Earth's Ultimate Conflict, the very first book in the series.
So what does it mean to you? You're coming to Pahrump, to the Pahrump Alien Conference. What are you looking forward to the most interacting with the audience there?
Oh, that's I really would like to know what the audience thinks about the alien contact that they're going to see, such as some of Joseph de la Torre's beautiful UFO photographs and videos. I know they're going to be really intrigued by just how many he has captured. And I want to know their feelings about it. I want to know if in this day and age, they're still frightened by them, or if they're more intrigued and want to get to know them. I also want to know if they've had experiences. I'd love them to come up and talk to me about it.
So where can everybody find your books and everything? And
oh, you can go to my website, Gray, Gray, Guardians.com, or on Amazon under Kathy Porter. Kathy with a K, please. Kathy.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
That's a Lerner and Rowe Weather Cam looking out from the KPVM TV studios here in Pahrump. The snow on the mountain cap seems to be gone, but we have other forms of precipitation in the form of rain. Any more of that coming up, or is it sunny skies? We'll tell you in a bit.
Weather is sponsored by the Nevada Dairy Farmers and the Dairy Council of Nevada, sharing the love of all things dairy. Celebrate the best moments with milk. Milk the moment. And the weather is also brought to you by the Ponderosa Dairy, Nevada's largest dairy, fresh from our farm to your table.
Welcome back to News 25. I'm Chris Palermo with your weather report from the anchor desk. 67 in Fernley today, going down to 43. Fallon is going to hit 38 for a low tonight. They were at 66 degrees. Carson City 66. Tonopah 61, 40 tonight. Goldfield is mining 63 degrees today. Beatty, it ain't 80. It is 75. Amargosa 80. Las Vegas 80, 89 in Death Valley. Well, your sun rose this morning at, well, late, almost 7 a.m. 76 degrees, by the way, right now, Pahrump in the area. Humidity at 21%, and we've got wind out of the south-southwesterly direction, 8 miles an hour, and we hit a high near 79 degrees today. Your sun is going to set tonight, 5:58. Well, say goodbye to those after 6 o'clock. Sunsets, 44% humidity. Again, at 76 degrees, east-northeast wind, 7 miles an hour, and 53 for a low. Your forecast goes a little something like this. For you Thursday, 79 degrees. Friday, we got a lot of sunshine coming up here, 81. Saturday, some clouds coming in, 79, a little bit. Sunday, 76, 78 on Monday. Sunny. Tuesday, Wednesday, 81, 82. We've got some lows in the 50s. We've got really seasonable weather, and we've got the P-Top Pumpkin Days happening. You could, well, take your pick starting tomorrow night. You could ride the Mechanical Bull, or on Saturday morning, they've got the Monster Dash down at Ian Deutsch Park. That'll just about do it for all of us here tonight. I'm Chris Palermo, News 25. Make it a great night.